The argument was, okay, Australia's too small to make any real difference to the climate at all that anyone could measure. But we have to do it to set a good example to everyone else. If we didn't do it, they wouldn't. Well, China's not doing it. America's not doing it. India's not doing it. Right to our north, Indonesia's not doing it. I mean, who are we setting the example to at tremendous cost? Because it's not just that. Even in the developed world, it's not just the US now jumping off the global warming bandwagon, or at least trying to slow it down. So now that the costs are so clear, is it?
Well, the people we're doing it for now, Andrew, are the very small number of elite Australians that can afford to signal their virtue in this way. That's what we're doing it for. It's not about the environment. This is now a virtue signalling exercise, a luxury good for people who can afford to say, look at me, how great am I? I'm going to tick the box on my flight over to Aspen this year by saying I buy carbon credits. But for the rest of the poor schmucks in Australia who are just trying to stay in their own homes and pay their bills, they can't afford this. And it's a cost that they do not deserve to have to pay. And increasingly, this is going to be a cost that puts our own prosperity at risk. I think what Donald Trump has done today is a great challenge to Australia's economic prosperity, because what he has done is put America on a path to have lower energy prices, high competitiveness, not just through this thing we're discussing, but the cutting of red tape, the cutting of wasteful government spending. That's going to increase the gap between the competitiveness of the American economy and the Australian economy. And under this Labor government, our productivity is in freefall. We have never seen a reduction in economic productivity like we have had in these past 2 years. That threatens to just get deeper now if we don't wake up to ourselves, get rid of our complacency, and start to concentrate on what matters to make Australia a wealthy nation. That means cutting red tape, means getting rid of government spending, and an easy one that we could do tomorrow is to end all this craziness, stop all these departmental officials running around working out how they can make roads get to net zero. Our Defence Department says its greatest challenge is climate change. It's trying to design its tanks and ships to tackle climate change. We could just end all of that and focus on what really matters, which is making Australians more prosperous, so they don't have to lose their homes in the next couple of years, and also making sure that we can defend our nation by having a strong manufacturing industry and a defence procurement system, a defence system that works.
Yeah, well, what you're going to see, the pressure will go on Australia because America will become much more competitive. We will lose even more industries. Our nickel industry has already been wiped out by Indonesia, particularly the coal-fired facilities that China's helped build. What else are we going to lose? It's going to really, really hurt us. Let's see. Let's start. In fact, Matt, and I know you've been trying to do it, let's start with your own opposition, the coalition, convincing them to drop the net zero fantasy. And then let's hope Labor will then follow suit. Matt Canavan, always fascinating to talk to you. Thank you so much for your time.